my air blowing? Is it blowing too loud? Today we're going to be talking about how to tell if you need a trim or not. Let me check my sound quality, because I got this AC blowing and I don't have my headphones that I sometimes use as my microphone, but hopefully it's not blowing too loud in y'all ear. Where's my video at? Let's see. Hopefully it's not blowing too loud in y'all ear. Where's my video at? Okay, it sounds like it's fine. It sounds like it's fine, so we're gonna get started. So if you're just watching me for the first time, obviously my name is Lisa Smilez and I'm a natural hair care specialist here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm actually about to drive back to the shop. I was in my car, y'all. Had some Chick-fil-A. I was able to get me a free salad because I had some points, okay? So we bougie on a Friday. We bougie on a Friday. We bougie on a Friday. Anyway, what are y'all eating, okay? I had some Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, send me a check. I had some Chick-fil-A. I had the 8-piece count nuggets with some Polynesian, and I had a side salad. Y'all, them Chick-fil-A side salads be bussin', okay? I don't remember. I just started getting those side salads recently. Let me roll up my window. I just started getting those side salads recently, like last couple of months, and I don't remember them. The side salads coming with these little, because I love something with some crunch on it. It come with these little things on them. I smashed that salad. It was good. It come with these little things on the side. These charred tomato crisp bell peppers. You sprinkle them on top with that avocado lime ranch. That thing be good. That thing be good. That thing be good. So I did good today. I got me a salad because, well, I'm starting to realize, you know, as I'm getting older, like, I got to eat healthier. And I can't be eating no heavy meals on lunchtime because, honey, when it's time to go back to work, honey, I be somewhere about slumped over. You hear me? So, I'm drinking some water. So, I be having to keep my lunches a little light because I'll go back to work with that itis. You hear me? So, we can't go back to work with the itis. We got to give us something that's going to hydrate us and give us some energy on Friday. Because we be busy. But y'all, I always had to get something sweet. Why did I get a cookie? Because that's my business and it's Friday and I want a cookie. Okay, that's my business and I'm gonna eat it. But anyway, in this video I came up here to talk to y'all about, I done told y'all the whole church announcement and my shenanigans. In this video I'm gonna be talking about just real quick because I don't have long before my client come. Let me put back on my shoes, child, because I done took off my shoes, honey. When I eat, the shoes got to be off so my toes can wiggle. You hear me? So the toes can wiggle. But anyway, I'm about to give y'all some tips on how to tell if you need a trim. So it's plenty of signs, but I'm gonna just run by just a few signs. Now, one of the first obvious signs that I see is that your ends are kind of straggly and thin. So if you get ready to two-strand twist your hair or you combing your hair and you're noticing that the ends don't look as full, like they look real thin and stringy, that's how you know you need a trim. That's how you know. And so I had a client who came this morning and I was detangling and going through her hair, and as I was doing that, I was noticing that her ends, when I got ready to twist it, her ends were a little straggly. And she's gonna need a trim next time she come. We didn't have time to do it today, but let me put on my shoe. She's gonna need a trim next time she come, cause her ends were like kind of like thin and straggly. Sometimes people just think they'll come and they say, Lisa, my hair is thinning out, and I'll look at the ends, and it's just that you need a trim. So if you notice that your ends are thin and straggly, That's how you know you need to trim. A second sign is you got a lot of the single strand knots. So sometimes you'll see this, you'll comb or detangle your hair, and then you'll pull out this long string, and it's nothing, it'll be this long string, and it'll be a knot. It'll be a knot. You'll get like little single strand knots, okay? Make sure this sound is good still. Okay. So you'll pull out the long string, and you'll notice like little knots, like at the end, like little balls. You need to trim your hair. You need to come in for a trim, okay? So those little balls, and there's actually a technical term for that I had learned a while back. I can't pronounce it. It started with a T. Try something. I can't remember, but you need to trim. Okay, that's a hair disorder. Okay, having balls at the end of your hair is a hair disorder. Okay, I know we have scalp disorders, but that's a hair disorder. Okay, you have a hair disorder, meaning you need to trim your hair. All right. So the other sign that you need to trim is your ends always get frizzy real quick. So I see this a lot where people get a blowout, and when you look at the ends, they just frizzy. They swell up and they puff out. And more than likely, that's because they split. And so when they split, more than likely they dry. So when you go outside, especially if you stay somewhere with a lot of humidity, them ends gonna swell and they're gonna puff up. You need to trim. Okay, you need a trim. It puff up and a real frizzy on the ends, trim it. Because when you trim it, you're gonna notice when you get ready to do a blowout next time, you're not gonna have that problem. Okay, you're not gonna have that problem. Another sign you need to trim, if you are having a hard time detangling your hair. Now, I know some people say, Lisa, it takes me forever to detangle your hair. But it shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't. Like, if you're spending a whole lot of time on one section and you going to, you combing, and it's just taking you forever, you need a trim. You need a trim. And so what I want you to do is next time you get your hair trimmed, let me start driving back to my salon. Next time you get your hair trimmed and you say you get it trimmed, and say you shampoo your hair at home, okay? You shampoo your hair at home. I want you to time yourself on how long it takes you to detangle. So you got to trim this week. You got your hair done. You got to trim this week. In 2 weeks, you can shampoo your hair again. When you shampoo your hair again at home and you get ready to detangle your hair, I want you to start a timer on your phone. And this is going to be a game change. This free game right here. Start a timer on your phone and time yourself on how long it typically takes you to detangle your whole head, okay? And y'all remember, I have a video on detangling, and I probably need to do maybe an updated video, but I'm going to show y'all the proper way how to detangle. Child, I got my door closed all the way, child. Let me close this door. Close it and lock it. But I'm about to do an updated video on how to detangle your hair properly. So get your timer and time yourself on how long it takes you to trim your hair after you how long it takes you to detangle your hair after you had the trim. Okay, so maybe do this a couple of times so you can kind of see the average time. So it might take you 10 minutes, it might take you 15 minutes. Just time it. And so now you know a baseline on average how long it takes you to detangle your hair. So when it's time for a trim and you're noticing, like, man, it used to take me only 15 minutes. Oh, I'm about to take this, cuz. I'm about to take this. So then you start to notice, okay, on average, it takes you 15 minutes to detangle your hair. But then you start to notice, like, man, it's taking me a little bit longer. It's taking me 30 minutes just to detangle through my whole head. And that way you have a guide and you know how long is too long. Because, see, some people are quicker than others. Like me, it might only take me 10 minutes to get through my whole head. So anything beyond 10 minutes, like if it started taking me 20 and 25 minutes, I know it's time for me to trim because it's taking me entirely too long to detangle. Okay, so keep that rule of thumb in mind, so you kind of have a guide on what's normal for you, because your normal time might be 30 minutes because maybe you just slow and maybe your hands hurt, and that's okay. That is totally okay. I had a video that I posted earlier this week, if you haven't watched it, about learning what works for your hair. Okay, and it might take you a while because you're really trying to get it down right. All right, so that's another sign. And you're gonna notice that when you get that trim, okay, they got them a Porsche. Okay, we see you, we see you, we see you. Okay, we see you. Okay, go ahead now. I always gotta have a side conversation. Y'all, sidebar, I be here in the car, just be talking to myself or be talking like other people can hear me. Like when I need somebody to let me, I'm like, you gonna let me over? Like, girl, they can't hear you, but they can read my lip though. They can read my lip. Now I ain't gonna run this light because they be having cameras right here. Let me be obedient. Let me obey the laws. Yeah, because I heard somebody say they got a ticket recently, a red light camera. Be careful of these big intersections. I haven't got on topic. Okay. God bless them. Lord bless them. I ain't got nothing for you, sir. God bless them. Oh, we were talking about trim. Y'all see I got sidetracked? So, you're going to notice when your hair is trimmed, you can be able to get through that head a whole lot quicker. I hear this compliment all the time from my clients. They get their hair trimmed and then they come back, they be like, Lisa, shut. I can't shut. I look down at my other phone and seeing you commented. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you for everybody else who's watching, who y'all might be really working and y'all can't type. So I appreciate y'all watching. But when they come back and they be like, Lisa, you right, that trim made a big difference. And it's easier to comb through their hair. Because see, when your ends are not trimmed and they split, that's a pretty color. When your ends are not trimmed and they're split, it makes it harder, because when it comes to detangling our hair, you start from the ends and you work your way up. So if you're having a hard time getting through the ends, it's gonna make the process long. But when it's trimmed, you're gonna notice you can be able to glide through that bottom real quick and go all the way up. Now there's other instances where your hair might be tangled bad, and it might be because maybe the style you took down and you didn't run your fingers through it properly. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like you ain't really had no style like that, and you just noticing in general it's taking you a long time to trim. Okay, I mean to detangle. So just in review, how you know you need to trim? It's taking you a long time to detangle. Your ends look thin. Your hair starts to feel thinner. You got single strand knots. You got those little balls on the end of your hair. Those 3 things I said. The other thing I said, your ends look frizzy. Like as soon as you get a blowout, the ends just look frizzy. Another one, and this can really count as frizzy ends, bushy ends. Bushy ends. Okay. Some people suffer from this. It's like you blow dry their hair out straight, but the ends is like just bushy, and that could be classified as frizzy ends too. But some people I've seen in particular, they just have really, like, their whole head be straight, and you get to the end, it just be bushy. You need to trim. Go ahead and trim that bush off. Let it go. Go ahead, let that bush go. Let the bush go. Let the bush go. And you're gonna notice that I guess I'm gonna park right here. It's like it's about to rain. You're gonna notice when you cut that bush off, because see that bush, then that bush gonna have you messed up, because that bush gonna make it harder to detangle your hair. That bush gonna make it harder to detangle. Another sign you need to trim, and I'm just going off the dome, I'm just thinking about some of my clients' hair. Another sign you need to trim is your twist out ain't giving what it's supposed to give, okay? It's like you get ready to do your twist out and your curls look limp. So I'm about to eat my cookie. I'm about to take one bite of my cookie. It's warm too. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A send me a check. So if you notice that your curls are limp, like your curls don't have no body, okay? Them things is just holding on for dear life. You need to trim, okay? Your curls is not bouncing and popping and beautiful. You need to trim. And you notice when you get that trim, your curls is going to wake up. They're going to have so much life, and they're going to be bouncing. They're going to be pretty, and it's not going to look limp. And then the other thing I seen too is your hair going to look fuller. Sorry. Your hair is going to look fuller. So, like I said before, if your hair is starting to feel thin, it's probably looking thin too. But when you get that trim, it's going to look so much fuller. And some people shy away from trims because they be so focused on length. But the thing is, it don't look healthy and it don't look good when you have this long hair, but it looks damaged. Like, it looks weak. It don't look healthy. Like, your curls are limp. It looks thin. No, you better off just getting a trim. Even though it might be shorter, it's going to look fuller. It's going to look vibrant. It's going to look healthy versus seeing this long head of hair and it look dead. Okay, so I know black women, we want to have hair down our back, and you can have hair down your back, but make sure you're keeping up with your trims and don't wait too long, because you think you're going in for a haircut. You think you're going in this for a trim, and sis, you got to get a whole haircut now because you waited too long because you were so focused on the length, which your hair would end up being long anyway if you just would have trimmed it when you were supposed to. But see, what happens is some people wait, and at this point we got to do a whole haircut. So you go in looking like Rapunzel, and then you got to come out looking like Dora the Explorer. And you don't have to come out looking like Dora the Explorer each time if you just trim it when you're supposed to. Don't wait too long. Don't wait too long, because you end up paying the price later. You end up paying the price later if you wait too long. So if your stylist recommend for you to get a trim, or if you come in to me to get a trim, just get the trim, sis. Like, let's don't play, because when I turn them around, I show them how much need to be cut off. Like, if you wait, and then I finally show them how much need to be cut off, you're going to be like, oh, man, I should have got this done last time. Yeah, you should have got it done last time. Oh, it say low battery. Yeah, you should have got it done last time, because now you need a whole haircut. Now you need a whole haircut. So don't wait too long, ladies, to get a trim. When you know it's time for you to get a trim, go ahead and get it done. And just pay attention to the signs. Learn hair. This is part of, like, learning your hair and learning what works for you. And some people ask me this. Oh, they just came. I already ate now. Some people ask me this. Well, Lisa, how often should I be trimming your hair? And sometimes they have the standard 6 to 8, 4 to 6 weeks on the client. So some people, if their hands is always in their head and they wear their afro out a lot and they never wear protective styles, I've noticed that those type of people need trims a little bit more often than those who might wear styles where they're not manipulating it a lot. Okay, so if you're manipulating your ends a lot and wearing it out a lot, you probably would need trims a little bit more frequently, meaning maybe every 4 to 6. It just kind of depends, because if you're manipulating it a lot and touching a lot, your hands probably dry, and you drying them out, so they're going to be splitting. Okay, and then also with your hair being out and it being exposed, it's exposed to the heat. If it's real hot in the summertime, you got the sun, that's a factor, so heat dries your hair out. Wintertime, if it's the cold dry air, that's drying your hair out. So you got a lot of factors depending on the seasons. And yes, I know you might be moisturizing and stuff, but your hair is still exposed to a lot. I'm not saying you can't wear your hair out, but just be mindful of how often you're wearing it out if you're trying to tone down the trim. Now, if you like, Lisa, I do not like getting my hair trimmed, like it hurts my heart, you might want to resort to more protective styles where your ends are protected, where your ends is not exposed to like the environment in your own hands. Sometimes you got to protect your own self from your own self. Okay, so that might mean